Studying this stuff for about 20 years. I've been doing this tour for 5 years. In the past 5 years of doing this tour, there's a lot that I've seen that have changed my personal beliefs. For instance, I used to believe ghosts cannot physically mess with us. Time and time again on this tour, I've been proven wrong on that one. I've seen people pushed, jabbed, pulled, shoved, have someone whisper in their ear when there's nobody standing next to them. Now, y'all sign the waivers with JoJo, right? There's no waivers, just not lie to me, make me feel better about taking you out there tonight. All right, how many of you are in Key West for the first time? All right, welcome to Key Weird. You may have noticed we are the world's largest outdoor insane asylum. If you're crazy enough, you'll make it here. Now, the proper name for this town, and what we call it, is Cayo Hueso. That comes from our first inhabitants. That was the Calusa Indians and the Seminole Indians. They had a very bloody battle that brought them from Key Largo all the way down here to the southernmost point. It was the Calusas that lost that battle. And what Calusas did survive found their way to Cuba 90 miles south by way of canoe. Now to put things in perspective for you, and this is your geography lesson for the night. Right now you are closer to Cuba than you are the nearest Walmart. I knew somebody would be happy about that. Our next visitor was in 1514, and that was Captain Ponce de Leon. He came looking for the Fountain of Youth. What he found instead was a low-lying island covered in bones left over from the big Indian battle, leading everyone to believe this entire island, all 2 by 4 miles of it, is nothing more than a giant burial ground. So low-lying island covered in bones, to go to Ponce de Leon, that's Cayo Hueso. Roughly translated back to us, it's Bone Island. Not really a tourist-friendly name, so we just became Key West, plain and simple. Now, I believe almost each and every single one of you have cameras tonight, so that's great. We're going to get a lot of great photos tonight. I've given you all special instruction on how to use your cameras, at least minimal 2 pictures back to back. And I'll point out a lot of spots tonight where to take pictures. Please though, do not wait for me to tell you. If you get a feeling that you should be taking pictures, start snapping away. Now, some of the more common things you're going to capture on film. You might get an orb. That's a white spear of light. You see it right here in the middle of the stairway. Pay no attention to the green stuff you see in the photo. That's what happens when your job is outdoors and you get stuck in the rain. You may also get a rod or a ribbon. It's a streak of light. And you could also get some ectoplasm. That takes on a foggy appearance. Ectoplasm is basically the residue left behind by a ghost in your general vicinity. So if every hair stands up on your body, it's a good time to start snapping away. You'll probably end up getting some ectoplasm. Now, the photos I show you tonight, taken out of my book, were taken by people who have been on a tour and were kind enough to email them to me. If you think you get something tonight, please speak up and share it with the group. I do have great pictures to share, but I'd rather see the ones taken on tonight's tour. Those are a lot better to see. If you get any weird heebie-jeebie feeling with you tonight, that you're not alone, or you sense something around you, please speak up and let the rest of us know. That's how we start hunting ghosts. And don't be bashful. No one's going to make fun of you tonight for talking about ghosts because you're surrounded by people that sign up for a ghost tour. So I think we're in pretty good company. Now they're going to get their energy tonight from a variety of places, mainly the island, since the island itself is a burial ground. They can also get it from a religion that's highly practiced on this island today. That's called Santeria. It's voodoo mixed with Catholicism. Now, it's not the evil stuff you might be more familiar with up in New Orleans. It has a lot more to do with positive energy from within. And that's the other place these spirits and ghosts will get their energy from, is us. We provide energy to them. Whether you realize it or not, we all have energy inside us. I'm going to do a little demonstration to show how that works. We do have powers in us to make things happen. Now, these are the keys to my heart. But my love is temporary, so we'll be taking them back. It's Key Weird. I can share my love with the guys. Well, looks like we almost have enough keys to go all the way around tonight. I'm trying to get these across to you. We do. Everybody gets one. Awesome. Now, now hold those keys out in front of you. Let the key dangle. Just hold it between your finger and thumb. From the end, like this. Make sure at this point your key is motionless, not moving. Now I want you to stare at your key, picture in your mind your key swaying back and forth. Once it starts to move back and forth, follow it with your eyes. You'll get your key going bigger and bigger. Now those of you that have your keys moving, I'm going to count to 3. I want you to think stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. Very nice. Let's do one more. This time think about your key going round and round in a circle.
Oh, wow.
And once it's moving in a circle, you can actually control the speed with your mind. I'm going to count to 3 and think stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. Very nice, everyone. You have no idea how fun it is to watch the keys go back and forth from this area every night. So, go ahead and put your keys down. After seeing something tonight, you can, that's all right. Hey, you know what? I did a tour of the cruise ship the other day, and I had a little kid about this tall. He took the key out with him and held on to it the entire tour. Didn't listen to any of the rest of the stories. That part right there did it for him. But now I think we can actually start talking hauntings after seeing something like that. And why not start with the home that we're actually in? This was the home to Dr. Joseph Yates Porter. He was Florida's first health official. Now, he had a lot to do with eradicating yellow fever, and he was born and bred and died in this house. Actually, he died in the same room he was born in. Now, spending your entire life in one home is not that bad of a thought if it's a place like this. This is a fairly nice sized home. He would also use this as a place of practice. And before he could eradicate yellow fever, a lot of people would die from it. Women, children, even Jeannie Porter, one of his granddaughters. The thing is, there's still a lot of activity in this house. Take the room right above us. It's an apartment. It's a bartender across the street that lives up there. She says once a day she hears tapping on her window, which if you live in the second story, that's probably not good. But all she has to do is open the window and shut the window and the tapping stops. Now in the apartment above that one, about 2 years ago, there was a gentleman that moved in there. He spent about 2 years on a waiting list just to get in that apartment. So when moving day came, you think he'd be pretty stoked and happy, right? He only ended up lasting about 2 or 3 weeks there. In that short time span, he lost his job, lost his girlfriend, became addicted to drugs, lost his mind, and then disappeared from the island. Nobody's seen or heard from him since. Right across the hallway, we have what's called the Porch, a brand new bar that opened up about 1 or 2 months ago. One of the more common things that happens there, they get wine glasses from flying out of the glass rack. They go flying across the room and land on the floor. The thing is, when they hit the ground, they don't break. It's like someone's setting them down nice and gently. Now in the apartment above the Porch, there's a school teacher that lives there. He has a parrot. He is the sole owner of this parrot. This parrot's been under no one else's possession, so he's the only one that could have taught it words. This parrot speaks full sentences that he hasn't taught. Things like, "We miss you." Now this room has its own activity as well. I've had my own experiences in here. One night after a tour, I come in here to do some final paperwork. I'm rummaging through my backpack and I can feel breathing on the back of my neck. Normally I'd be pretty happy about that, but since I'm alone, not so much. So I'm thinking, ignore it, it'll go away. Then I could feel a hand go across my neck and I said, forget this, paperwork can wait till another time. On that note, folks, we are going to be going out into the streets. I am supposed to be somewhat responsible for you when we're crossing the streets and out in Old Town Key West. So stick close together, find your ghost buddy. All right? Let's head outside.